If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is December the 5th, 2023, and today the topic is the commandment of God or men. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Yes, happy Tuesday. I hope you had a wonderful Monday. Mine was just fine. Yep, mine was just fine overall. I ended up recording it was one episode of GSL, and then I was on someone else's platform recording and whatnot as well. And then after that, I ate my lunch, had a nice nap. By the time I woke back up, my little guy was once again requesting one of our Christmas activities that I invested in over the weekend, and so I decided, why not? So we had our first indoor snowball fight last night, the little old Happy Saves crew, and it was fun.
And Papa was on my team.
As you can hear my co-host in the background letting you know that, yes, Papa played along with us, and it was just a nice little time. So after that, we ended up watching, NJ picked a Scooby-Doo. It wasn't necessarily a Christmas movie, but kind of, sort of like a Christmas movie. And then by that time, it ended. It was his bedtime. And then your girl, I ended up watching a couple of like Hallmark type Christmassy movies. Just sitting in our living room with the lights going and the tree and all that good stuff. And just nice Christmas vibes that yesterday was. So we'll see what all happens today or whatever. But that's what happened last night and yesterday. And so I had a great Monday. I hope you guys had one as well. So speaking of the Christmas tree and all them pagan traditions, right? I would say that kind of like led to today's conversation about the commandments of God or men. Now, I get it. I totally understand. There's different verses that reference different things and sound exactly like, for example, there's verses that reference, I guess, some nation cutting down trees and putting silver and gold on them and things like that, and people think like that's the Christmas tree, and oh, you wrong for doing that, and da 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 da. And then it goes on and on and on. Of course, I talk about this all the time, but we already know, like, around this time of year, that's the number one debates that you see it all over social media and stuff like that. And hey, you got free will, you got, the freedom to share whatever you feel led to share. And then if you're convicted again by putting up the Christmas tree and all that, then by all means, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? If it convicts you and makes you feel like you worshiping anything other than Christ, then by all means, again, don't do it. But for those of us that just look at it as a tree and look at it as decorations and look at it as just something that is festive that goes along with this, celebration of Christ, then hey, they free to do that too. And at the end of the day, like, again, the Bible is clear about us being led by our own minds in that regard. And so, it's something that we got to go to the Lord about. I believe, again, it's one of those things that we're not supposed to be arguing about. But hey, who am I? I'm just one human out here, trying to figure things out too. So, but that's pretty much where the inspiration came, because I ended up looking into this concept about pagan, traditions and things of that nature. And yes, GotQuestions.org does have articles that, address this and whatnot. I ended up reading one of them, and it was, do some Christmas traditions have pagan origins? I felt like it was a good article to read. So if you guys want to go check it out and, do your deep dive and everything like that, by all means, do so. I put that in the Go Deeper section as something that you guys can peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. But here goes some verses that were standing out to me this morning in regards to this conversation about the commandments of God for men. Because at the end of the day, again, I believe that God has given us freedom. God has given us the free will to choose and different things like that. And so at the end of the day, we more so should be choosing what's God's will versus like somebody else's opinion and will. And so with that being said, let me go ahead and share some of these verses and then let you guys go on about your day, So Matthew 15:9, it says, "In vain do they worship me, teaching as doctrines the commandments of men." So there you go. That already, lets us know that there are some individuals that are teaching doctrines that aren't necessarily the commandments of God. So it's the commandments of men. And so knowing that these individuals are out there, what we have to do is discern who we listening to and what, and things of that nature. Now, y'all could be saying the same thing for me. Miracle, are you teaching your own doctrine today? Well, I'm trying not to. I'm trying to just focus on what the Bible say. So I try to let y'all know again when it's my personal opinion and when it's Bible. And so there you go. That verse is Matthew 15:9, and you guys can look that up for yourself. I did not make that. It's right there talking to us about the concept of people teaching their own ideas, basically. And so speaking of that, Colossians 2:8, it addresses what we should do. It says, "See to it that no one takes you captive by philosophy and empty deceit, according to human tradition, according to the elemental spirits of the world, and not according to Christ." So once again, use your discernment, take everything with a grain of salt. Again, compare everything to the word of God, and things of that nature. If we're trying to figure out, what to do with the information that we see and hear. Again, I'm not sharing my personal opinion about, again, the Christmas trees and nothing like that. I mean, we got one up in our house, and I teach my son about Jesus Christ and everything like that. So, I mean, hey, I'm not saying, hey, y'all wrong for not wanting to put up one, and I'm not telling the other people y'all right for wanting to put up one. I'm just saying, for me and my house, as far as I feel, we gonna serve the Lord on every day, and we can use whatever the Lord has provided us to use. He made trees. He made the artisans that created decorations. Like, I mean, I don't see it like that, but that's just me and my personal opinion. Again, I'm not sharing that for you guys to do what I do. I'm sharing in case you're curious about what I do. But according to what I think we all should do is look at the Bible and see what it has to say, and everything like that. And again, that last verse says to not let anyone take us captive with philosophy and empty deceit. Again, I know I've talked about this before, but I feel like to say it again. Sometimes we put stumbling blocks in our brother's way or sister, by, again, our own opinions and things like that. You never know what God will do and what he will use and things like that to bring people closer to him. Again, here I am with the GSL platform because this is what God has used to draw me nearer and closer to him. So, just saying, just saying, can whatever you do be used to the glory and honor of the Lord? And if it can't, then by all means, have your conviction and live accordingly, right? Matthew 15:14, it says, let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. At the end of the day, this is the consequence of following people in their opinions and beliefs and things like that. Again, if they're the blind leading the blind, it says you're going to fall into a ditch. So, again, let's not do that, right? Let's not follow other people and just their opinions and things like that and let that rule and dictate and put us in the box that God didn't even put us in. Again, maybe that's my humble opinion about that, but I mean, I say according to the Bible, but y'all can go on again and read and look up these things for yourself. So then we got Matthew 15:3. It says, he answered them, and why do you break the commandment of God for the sake of your traditions? If you guys go deeper in Matthew 15 in its entirety, you're going to see, obviously, the Pharisees and Sadducees kind of confronting Jesus about, some things that they don't feel like his disciples should have been doing. And pretty much Jesus is addressing them like, you may think that they're wrong for doing X, Y, and Z, but why do you do X, Y, and Z? And it's no different. It's worse actually what you do than, for them not to wash their hand and eat the bread or whatever the case may be. Go deeper, read the whole thing. I mean, obviously it's good to read and whatnot, but at the end of the day, again, again, all of us are sin and falling short, right? And none of us is perfect. Christ is the only one, right? So, again, none of us can really. I'm not saying judgment, because I know everybody like to throw that word judge out there, and y'all know already how I feel about that. Because at the end of the day, yes, we can judge with righteous judgment, okay? But at the same time, too, none of us can, again, throw the stone at anyone else, because none of us is worthy. He who is without sin, throw the first stone. And Jesus don't do that. He didn't do that in the Bible with the lady, and he don't do that to us. He gives us grace and mercy every day. And so, with that being said, I mean, this is ultimately the juice this morning. Again, I know it gets like this time of year all the time, or anytime a holiday rolls around and stuff like that. And my thing is, again, I can use every day for the glory and honor of the Lord. And that's just it. I mean, but that's me. That's me, my little humble opinion. Again, don't take that. By all means, let the Lord lead you on what to do for you and your family. But ultimately, the juice is, let's follow the commandments of God and not of man. So, the Bible verse of today is Deuteronomy 31:6. It says, "Be strong and of good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid to them. For the Lord thy God, he it is that doeth or doth go with thee. He will not fail thee nor forsake thee." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Did you know that you can support us for just 99 cents a month? That's right, friends. You can support everything that we do here at GSL for just 99 cents a month. Take a look around wherever this post is. You might see a link or maybe even a button that says support. Go there, check out the options, consider supporting us because, we enjoy bringing you all the daily inspiration as well as the weekly talk show, but we have much, much more to come. Thank you so much for the consideration. Bye-bye.